Lauren Goodbrand. I'm from Kitchens International and I'm a design technician. I won the Kitchen Concept Designer of the Year award. So the brief was to design a space for a couple and their two teenagers. Following the brief, the design was to include a kitchen space, dining space, and a living space. The client enjoys making pesto, fresh pesto, for the farmers market. So it was to include a space designated for that, as well as the functioning kitchen. So the design was also to be trendy and functional, and it was to create a nice, calm and relaxing atmosphere that was also able to have entertainment for friends and family. They were also looking to bring the outdoors into the space using greenery to try and create like a biophilic design. Once I put the walls into the software, I printed off a couple of plans and I began just sketching out a rough idea of how I wanted the layout. Once I'd got a good idea of the layout, I then got materials from the samples cupboard and just started laying out some materials to create a mood board. Once I was happy with the colours, I then put the design onto the software. It's quite moody colours. And I think that was because I wanted the light to come into the space and shine onto those dark materials to really like make them pop. So I wanted the feature lighting to create kind of different zones within the space, because there's kind of they come up through the fridge and then onto the ceiling and into the workspace. So you've got your hob and your prep sink and then the normal sink. So that space was where the lighting is. And then the separate space next to that is the dining area. So it just kind of zones it, separates it. The pesto area is next to the bifold doors. It's a hide and slide unit. So it can be shut away during normal times when you're trying to use the kitchen. And then when you want to make the pesto, it opens up. You've got a workstation, you've got shelves for all of the equipment that you need and all the jars. And then it's got drawers as well. Probably a couple of challenges I had. First being that the mirrored wall, when I'd first put that in, it's behind the sink. When I first put that in, it reflected the entire space in on itself, and it just didn't really work. It didn't look aesthetically pleasing. So I thought I'll try. I still want to use the mirror, but I'll make a feature out of it. So I then put a built-in area with the Laurent decked on behind it, and then 3 shelves, and they're staggered, and it's also got the same kind of lighting as the ceiling. And then another quick little thing that I had, one of the challenges, was the island was I had it flipped the other way to begin with. So the dining section was actually in front of the bifold doors, but I didn't think the space flowed properly. So I printed off both designs and I did a quick sketch of how I thought the space would be used for the client. And then I just went with the better option. What I like the most is probably the inclusion of nature throughout the space. I think it creates a really calm and relaxing environment. It's been done with the moss wall, and then there's also the herb garden for the pesto making stuff. And then just plants generally within the space. I think it's really nice and relaxing. But equally, I also love the feature lights above the on the ceiling. It just makes the space flow so much nicer. I'll enter again next year. We'll see how that goes.